You are just receiving a billionaire blessing. Yes, right now, in this very breath. Don't scroll, don't blink, because this isn't chance. It's destiny colliding with your life. Everything you've prayed for, cried for, begged heaven for, this is the moment it arrives. Your past cannot stop it, your enemies cannot block it, and your doubts cannot silence it. You're not here by accident. You were chosen to hear these words. Heaven's vault is open. Your name is engraved inside, and the flood of abundance is already chasing you down. This is your billionaire moment. Claim it now. Take a deep breath. Let your chest rise. Let the air settle into you, and feel this moment pressing against your soul. Because what you're about to hear isn't a coincidence, isn't random noise, isn't just another motivational speech floating across your screen. No, this is different. This is destiny finding you. This is heaven's spotlight shining directly onto your life, whispering, now is the time. You didn't just stumble into this. You didn't just casually arrive. You've been guided here step by step, prayer by prayer, tear by tear, until you landed in the exact second where everything changes. Right now, in this very breath, you are receiving a billionaire blessing. Yes, you. Don't scroll, don't blink it away. Don't let your mind wander into doubts or distractions, because this is too important. This is heaven's voice cutting through the chaos of your everyday life, declaring something bold, outrageous, impossible to ignore. You were never meant for smallness, never designed for scraps, never created to just survive. No, you were designed for overflow, for abundance, for more than enough. And this moment, it's the doorway. This is the announcement that your life is stepping out of shadows and into light. Think about it. Out of billions of people, billions of voices, billions of stories, this exact message is finding you. Do you understand the weight of that? It's like a letter that's been sealed with your name engraved on it, traveling through time and space, waiting for the precise moment your spirit would be ready to open it. That moment is right now. This message carries your name, your history, your future, and it's saying, you are just receiving a billionaire blessing. Let's pause here, because maybe your first thought is, this can't be for me. I've struggled too long, I've failed too many times. My life doesn't look anything like wealth, success, or abundance. But hear me clearly. You are not hearing these words by accident. The very doubts rising inside you are proof of why you need this moment. You see, your spirit has been starving for a reminder that you were never forgotten, never overlooked, never abandoned. Every hardship, every setback, every lonely night has been a setup for this unveiling. The universe has been aligning. God has been orchestrating so that right here, right now, you would hear. The vault of abundance is cracking open for you. Picture it like this. Imagine standing in front of a massive vault, a door so thick and sealed that generations before you walked past it, never realizing what was locked inside. For years, maybe even decades, you've stood there too, pressing your ear against the cold metal, wondering if maybe there's something on the other side. You've felt the vibrations, the hints, the promises in the air, but the door never opened. Until now. Suddenly there's a shift. You hear the groan of gears, the cracking of rust, the undeniable sound of locks breaking loose, and then light, blinding, golden, unstoppable, spills through the cracks. That vault wasn't random. That vault wasn't empty. That vault was filled with wealth, joy, peace, opportunities, love, and purpose, designed specifically with your name on it. And in this moment, the doors are swinging wide open. That's the blessing you're receiving. Not tomorrow, not next year, not someday when things get better. Right now, while your heart is beating, while these words are pouring into your ears, while you're sitting exactly where you are. You are not just listening, you're standing in a divine appointment. This is heaven's announcement. The billionaire blessing has your name written into it. Let's talk about what that means. Because this isn't hype, this isn't false hope, this is alignment. Every prayer you've whispered in the dark, Every moment you almost gave up, every time you thought, maybe God isn't listening, has brought you to this point. Think about it. How many storms have you already survived? How many nights did you cry yourself to sleep and still wake up the next morning, even when you thought you couldn't? How many times did you wonder if life would ever shift? And yet, you kept moving. That survival, that endurance, that unseen strength, it wasn't for nothing. It was building something. It was writing your testimony. It was proving you were strong enough to carry what's being released right now. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not one more name lost in the crowd. You are chosen, marked, appointed. And when God decides to open heaven's vault, no enemy, no past mistake, no failure, no limitation can slam that door shut again. That's why this message is reaching you. Because the billionaire blessing is already being poured out, and you're standing right in the flood of it. Take another deep breath. Let your shoulders relax. Let your mind open. Let your spirit rise. Because you're not just hearing words, you're stepping into a shift. Something is stirring inside you right now, and you can feel it. That tightening in your chest, that rush in your veins, that whisper that says, "This is real." That's confirmation. That's your soul responding to truth. That's heaven tapping your shoulder saying, "You are ready now." Maybe you've been trained to expect little. Maybe you've been told, "Don't dream too big. Don't reach too high. Don't hope for more than survival." Maybe you've carried voices in your head that said, "People like you don't get rich. People like you don't succeed. People like you should be grateful for scraps." Those voices were lies. They were chains. And chains are breaking in this moment. Because abundance was always your inheritance, you were never designed for scarcity. You were born with the mark of a chosen one. And chosen ones don't just scrape by, they overflow. This is your overflow moment. You are not begging at the table anymore. You are sitting at the head of it. You are not waiting for a miracle anymore. You are living in one. And the beauty of this billionaire blessing is that it isn't temporary. It isn't fragile. It isn't just enough to get by. It's lasting, expanding, multiplying. It's the kind of blessing that rewrites your story so powerfully, people around you can only say, "This had to be God." And let me be clear, this blessing isn't floating out into the air for someone out there to grab. No, it's personal. It has coordinates. It has your DNA coded into it. It's been waiting for you, reserved for you, prepared for you. Like a gift hidden away until your birthday, it has been kept under lock and key until the moment you were ready to receive it. And today, the wrapping is being torn away. The vault is being opened. The flow is beginning. So, don't brush this off. Don't tell yourself, maybe later, maybe for someone else. No, this moment is sacred. This moment is divine. This is heaven declaring, you are stepping into your billionaire blessing right here, right now. Let the weight of that truth sink into you. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to fight for it. You don't have to prove you're worthy of it. You just have to receive it. That's faith, believing before the evidence shows up. And as you believe, you align yourself with heaven's flow. As you declare it, you open the floodgates wider. As you receive it, you step into the reality that your life will never look the same again. Pause here. Let yourself imagine it. Close your eyes if you have to. Picture your life drenched in abundance. Debt erased, doors opening, opportunities flowing, love surrounding you, peace covering you, joy bubbling out of you. Imagine walking into rooms with your head high, not worried about lack, not chained by fear, but radiating confidence that comes from knowing heaven's vault is open with your name engraved on it. That image you're seeing isn't fantasy, it's prophecy. It's your spirit catching a glimpse of the future God is already unfolding for you. So, as we begin this journey together, remember this. The billionaire blessing isn't coming. It's here. You're not waiting for it. It's waiting for you. And now, as you take this message into your heart, as you let it settle into your bones, you are crossing a line you can never uncross. You're stepping into overflow. You're stepping into destiny. You're stepping into everything you were created for. Welcome to the billionaire blessing. Your new chapter starts now. Stop for a second and ask yourself, Out of all the people scrolling through their phones right now, out of all the voices speaking into the noise of the world, why are you the one hearing this? Why did these exact words travel through the endless streams of distraction, through billions of stories, through the chaos of everything else happening around you, and land right here, in front of your eyes, in your ears, in your heart, because you were chosen? This isn't random. This isn't luck. This isn't coincidence. This is divine timing meeting divine intention. Every second of your life, every detour, every heartbreak, every late night where you stared at the ceiling, wondering if life would ever shift, it was all leading to this exact moment. You are not just another person living another day. You are the chosen one heaven has been preparing. Let's make something clear. Being chosen doesn't always feel glamorous. It doesn't always look like victory. In fact, most of the time, being chosen feels like rejection, struggle, misunderstanding. Think about it. You've carried burdens other people couldn't handle. You've survived storms that should have taken you out. You've endured losses, betrayals, and delays that left you questioning your own worth. And maybe you thought those were signs you were forgotten. But the truth? Those were signs you were being set apart. Chosen ones aren't overlooked. They're hidden. Hidden until the right time. Hidden until their spirit is strong enough, until their heart is refined enough, until their character is tested enough to handle the weight of what's coming. And you, right now, are stepping out of hiding. The curtain is lifting. The spotlight is shifting. And the billionaire blessing is being placed into your hands because you've been prepared for it all along. You need to understand this. God doesn't waste pain. Every tear you cried was a seed. Every moment of silence was a setup. Every delay was a layer of protection. You weren't being ignored. You were being groomed. The weight you carried wasn't punishment, it was training. Because chosen ones can't live average lives. Chosen ones can't settle for crumbs. Chosen ones are designed to carry overflow, to step into abundance, to walk in a calling so much bigger than themselves. Take Joseph, for example. Betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused, locked away in prison. If you looked at him in any of those moments, you would have said, "This guy is cursed. His story is over." But the reality, he was chosen. Every betrayal, every false accusation, every moment of silence in the prison cell was shaping him into the man who would one day run a nation. The pit wasn't his ending. It was his preparation. That's you. The struggles you've endured weren't proof that you were unlucky. They were evidence that you were chosen. You were being positioned, even when you couldn't see it. You were being prepared, even when you didn't understand it. And now, the preparation is complete. The billionaire blessing is unfolding. And maybe part of you is still whispering, "But why me?" Listen carefully, because you've been faithful in the small things. Because you didn't let bitterness consume you. Because you kept praying even when it felt like no one was listening. Because you kept moving forward even when the weight of life tried to paralyze you. Because you didn't let your heart turn cold even after it was broken. Those are the marks of the chosen, and heaven takes notice of that. Think about how many times you almost gave up. Think about the nights where you thought, "I can't take another step. I can't fight another battle." But somehow, some way, you did. You pushed through. You kept breathing. You kept hoping, even if the hope was small. That wasn't weakness. That was strength disguised as survival. And heaven saw it. God saw it. The universe marked it. And now, your reward is arriving. Chosen doesn't mean perfect. Chosen doesn't mean you never doubted, never messed up, never made mistakes. Chosen simply means God's hand has been on you from the very beginning. Even when you wandered, He guided. Even when you failed, He forgave. Even when you fell, He lifted. You've been carried more times than you realize. That's why you're still standing. That's why you're still here. And that's why you're being told with absolute certainty, this billionaire blessing is yours. You didn't just find this message, it found you. Think about that. Out of all the videos, all the words, all the noise, This exact message was orchestrated to collide with your spirit. That's what divine appointment looks like. That's how chosen moments unfold. They don't announce themselves with fireworks. They slip into your life in the middle of an ordinary day, and suddenly everything changes. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Chosen means your name is carved into the promise. Not penciled, not written in ink that can fade, but carved, engraved, etched into eternity. Just like a craftsman carves into stone, your destiny was carved into existence long before you took your first breath. This billionaire blessing was marked with your identity, waiting for the exact moment you would step up and claim it. Let's take a moment to visualize that. Imagine standing in front of a great ledger in heaven, page after page, name after name, and then you see yours, not scribbled in the margins, not an afterthought, but bold, permanent, undeniable. And next to it, written in letters that glow like fire, are the words, Billionaire Blessing, assigned. That's the reality. That's the truth. That's why you're here. And the reason this matters so much is because chosen people carry not just blessings, but assignments. Your abundance isn't just for you, it's for others. Your wealth isn't just to stack in a bank account. It's to fund dreams, break chains, lift families, transform generations. That's why you were chosen. Because God knew He could trust you. He knew you wouldn't hoard it. You wouldn't waste it. You wouldn't treat it like a toy. He knew you would carry it with purpose. And that's exactly what you're stepping into. So yes, it's you. Not the person you envy. Not the person you compare yourself to. Not the person who seems more qualified. You. Because chosen isn't about qualifications. It's about calling. And calling doesn't check resumes. It checks hearts. And your heart has been proven, tested, and refined. That's why the billionaire blessing is landing in your life right now. So let this truth sink deep into you. You are chosen, not by accident, not by chance, not by random selection, but by divine decision. This is your moment, your appointment, your unveiling. And once you grasp that, once you let it settle into your bones, everything about how you see yourself will change. You'll stop asking, why me? And start declaring, of course me. I was chosen for this. And when you step into that mindset, the blessing flows even faster, even stronger, even wider. Because heaven responds to faith. Heaven responds to declaration. Heaven responds when a chosen one finally wakes up and realizes, this was always mine. So stand tall, straighten your shoulders, lift your chin. Let every insecurity, every doubt, every whisper of not enough fall to the floor. Because chosen ones don't walk in shame. They walk in destiny. And destiny is calling your name right now. You are chosen. That's why you're here. That's why this message found you. And that's why the billionaire blessing is unfolding with your name carved into it. Think back. Think of the long nights, the empty mornings, the days that seemed to stretch on forever, the disappointments, the betrayals, the losses you never saw coming. Remember the tears that nobody else witnessed, the prayers whispered under your breath, the moments you felt like you couldn't take another step. Those weren't wasted. They weren't meaningless. They weren't evidence that you were forgotten. Every single struggle you endured was preparation for the exact moment you're stepping into right now. I know it's hard to believe sometimes, when you're in the middle of the storm, when the waves are crashing, when the darkness feels endless. It's hard to see how any of it could possibly serve a purpose. But let me tell you something. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Not one tear, not one heartbreak, not one failure. Every single piece of your journey has been building something inside you, chiseling away the fear, refining your character, stretching your capacity, strengthening your spirit. Think about it. If life had always been easy, if doors had always opened, if people had always supported you, would you be ready for what's coming now? Would you have the endurance, the perspective, the gratitude to carry abundance with integrity? Probably not. Ease never built strength. Comfort never created warriors. Struggle is what sharpens, what refines, What forges chosen ones into who they're meant to be. And you, chosen one, have been forged in fire. Look at your scars, not as reminders of pain, but as proof of preparation. Those scars are your credentials. They tell the story of someone who didn't give up, someone who didn't let life crush them, someone who kept walking when it would have been easier to quit. Every scar says I survived. Every scar says I'm stronger now. Every scar says I was being prepared for more. And let's be honest, there were times you wanted to quit, times you thought, what's the point? Why keep pushing if nothing ever changes? Times when giving up seemed easier than holding on. But you didn't quit. You couldn't quit. Something inside you, something deeper than logic, deeper than willpower, kept you going. That something was destiny. That was God's hand guiding you, even when you didn't feel it. That was the universe aligning circumstances so you could be here now, ready to receive the billionaire blessing. The delays you hated, they weren't denials. They were protection. If the door had opened too soon, it would have crushed you. If the opportunity had shown up before you were ready, it would have slipped through your fingers. The waiting was frustrating, yes. The silence was heavy, yes. But it was all preparation. Heaven doesn't rush masterpieces. And you are a masterpiece in progress. Consider how many times you thought you'd reach the end, only to discover later it was just a bend in the road. Those endings weren't endings at all. They were redirections. The job you lost, the relationship that broke, the dream that seemed to collapse, those weren't failures. They were reroutes. They were necessary detours leading you closer to the vault of abundance waiting with your name on it. Let's make this real with a picture. Imagine a blacksmith, hammer in hand, striking a piece of raw metal. Over and over, blow after blow, sparks flying. From the outside, it looks violent, painful, brutal. But the blacksmith isn't trying to destroy the metal. He's shaping it, strengthening it, preparing it to become something powerful. That's exactly what your struggles were. Every disappointment was a strike of the hammer. Every heartbreak was a spark. And with each hit, you were being shaped into something greater, stronger, unshakable. You might have asked yourself, why me? Why does it always feel like I have to fight harder than everyone else? The answer is simple. Because your blessing is greater than everyone else's. Because your assignment carries more weight. Because your vault of abundance holds more than you ever imagined. And only someone tested, refined, and prepared could handle it. That's why your journey has been what it is. And that's why your life has felt heavier, harder, more intense. Because you've been carrying destiny. Think of David. Before he became king, before anyone celebrated his name, he was out in the fields tending sheep. Alone, overlooked, forgotten by his own family. He killed lions and bears in private before he ever stood in front of Goliath. Those hidden battles were preparation. And when the moment came, he was ready. That's you. Your lions and bears, your private struggles, your silent battles, were preparation for the giant-sized blessing standing in front of you now. And here's the truth. The very things you thought disqualified you are the things that prepared you. The moments you called weakness were actually building your strength. The times you felt overlooked were actually positioning you for recognition. The struggles weren't meant to break you. They were meant to shape you into someone who could carry overflow without crumbling under it. So don't despise your past. Don't curse the path you had to walk. Don't look back with bitterness at what you had to endure. Look back with gratitude. Look back and say, if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't be ready for this. If I hadn't cried those tears, I wouldn't value this joy. If I hadn't walked through lack, I wouldn't understand abundance. Every struggle was a teacher. Every trial was a mentor. And they all brought you here. You are standing at the intersection of preparation and promise. You've walked through fire, and you didn't burn. You've passed through waters, and you didn't drown. You've been shaken, but you weren't destroyed. And now, every ounce of that preparation is about to pay off, because heaven never wastes a process, and your process is unlocking your billionaire blessing. Take another moment. Close your eyes if you can. Picture every hard season of your life as pieces of a puzzle scattered across the table. For years, it didn't make sense. You tried to fit pieces together, but they seemed random, disconnected, frustrating. But now, the pieces are coming together. The picture is forming, and what looked like chaos is revealing itself as a masterpiece. That's your story. That's your preparation. And preparation isn't just about surviving, it's about transformation. You're not the same person you were when you started this journey. You're wiser, you're stronger, you're braver. You see differently, you walk differently, you carry yourself differently. The old version of you couldn't handle this blessing. But the new version, the one shaped by struggle, refined by fire, strengthened by storms, that version is ready. And that version is standing right here, right now, receiving abundance. So when you look back, don't see wasted years, see training years. Don't see failure, see foundation. Don't see rejection, see redirection. Every struggle was working for you, not against you. Every delay was setting you up, not holding you back. Every heartbreak was making room for the abundance now pouring into your life. And hear this, the enemy tried to convince you those struggles were the end. He tried to make you believe you were forgotten, abandoned, cursed. But he failed. You're still here, still breathing, still standing. And not just standing, you're rising. Rising into everything you were created to be. Rising into overflow. Rising into your billionaire blessing. So lift your head, straighten your shoulders, and declare it. Every struggle was preparation. Every setback was a setup. Every pain was positioning me for abundance. This is your truth now. This is your identity now. And nothing can take it from you. Your preparation is complete. Your moment is here. The vault is opening. The billionaire blessing is unfolding. And every struggle that once weighed you down is now the very proof that you are ready to carry what's coming. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this with me. You're standing in front of a massive structure. Stone walls rising higher than you can see. Metal doors thicker than anything your hands could ever push open. It's not just any door, it's a vault sealed for generations, a vault that nobody before you could open, no matter how hard they tried, a vault that looked impossible, impenetrable, unmovable. People passed by it, shook their heads and whispered, "It will never open." But then you hear it, a sound at first so subtle, so quiet, you wonder if you imagined it, a low rumble deep inside the ground beneath your feet. The kind of sound that makes your chest vibrate, like the earth itself is waking up. Then you hear the groan of gears that haven't turned in centuries, the screech of rust breaking loose, the echo of locks snapping apart, not by your hand, but by a command greater than anything on this earth. Light, golden, blinding, unstoppable, begins to spill through the cracks, and then, in one breathtaking moment, the doors swing wide open. That vault? It was never random. That vault was never empty. It was filled, overflowing, with treasures your imagination could never fully capture. Wealth, yes, but not just wealth. Joy, peace, purpose, love, opportunities, relationships, influence, legacy. Every good thing heaven designed for you was placed inside that vault long before you were even born. And now, right here, right now, you're standing in front of it as it opens for you. This is the vault of abundance. This is your billionaire blessing being unleashed. Do you feel that? That stirring in your chest? That sudden awareness that something is happening beyond the ordinary? That's your spirit recognizing the truth. Because this isn't fantasy, this isn't hype, this is a prophetic moment. Heaven is announcing, the vault is opening with your name carved into it. For years, maybe decades, it felt like you were locked out. You saw glimpses, you felt hints, a blessing here, a breakthrough there, but never the full picture. You kept knocking, kept waiting, kept wondering, when will it finally be my turn? And maybe there were times you thought the door would never move, that you were destined to live outside while others walked in. But that was never the plan. The delay wasn't denial. The waiting wasn't punishment. The vault wasn't refusing you. It was saving itself for you. Think about that. The treasures inside weren't meant for just anyone. They weren't up for grabs. They were protected, preserved, sealed away until the moment you were ready, until your character was strong enough, until your faith was deep enough, until your heart was prepared enough. And now, you've reached that moment. You're not on the outside anymore. You're not peeking through cracks, begging for scraps. You are standing at the threshold, and heaven itself is swinging the doors wide open. Let me paint it even clearer. Picture the light pouring out of the vault. It's not a faint glow, it's a flood, like a sunrise exploding across the horizon, spilling golden fire across everything it touches. That light represents overflow. It touches your finances, debts erased, bills paid, opportunities unlocked. It touches your relationships, love deepened, connections healed, new bonds formed. It touches your purpose, clarity rising, doors opening, influence expanding. It touches your spirit, peace settling, joy overflowing, faith unshakable. Everywhere the light lands, transformation happens. That's the power of the vault of abundance opening. And here's the most important part. This moment isn't just about money. Yes, financial wealth is part of it. Yes, you will see resources multiply in ways that blow your mind. But this is bigger. This is about abundance in every single area of your life. It's about stepping into wholeness. It's about living in such overflow that everywhere you go, people can't help but say, something shifted in them. This is beyond human explanation. This is divine. Think of it this way. Money by itself can run out. Bank accounts can dry up, but the abundance flowing from this vault is eternal. It doesn't stop. It doesn't diminish. It multiplies. The more you pour out, the more flows back in. The vault of abundance isn't connected to the world's economy. It's connected to heaven's. And heaven's supply never runs dry. This is why you've been through what you've been through. The struggles weren't random. The pain wasn't meaningless. They were all preparation for this moment. So when the vault opened, you'd be ready to handle it. You'd be strong enough to carry it. You'd be wise enough to steward it. And you'd be bold enough to step into it without hesitation. Think back to Joseph again. One day he was in prison, forgotten and overlooked. The next, he was standing in the palace, managing the wealth of an entire nation. That shift wasn't gradual, it was sudden, it was divine. And when it happened, no one could deny it was God. That's the same kind of sudden shift that's happening in your life right now. The vault is opening, and what's pouring out is so extraordinary, so undeniable, people around you will have no choice but to admit, this is divine. Now, let's bring it closer. Picture yourself stepping forward, your feet crossing the threshold of that vault. The air inside feels different, thicker, heavier, charged with power. Piles of treasures glimmer around you, stacks of gold, rivers of jewels, scrolls of destiny rolled with your name on them, opportunities packaged and waiting for your hands, relationships aligned and positioned, ideas that will change the world, waiting for you to breathe life into them. And as you step into that vault, it doesn't feel foreign. It doesn't feel like you're sneaking in where you don't belong. No, you feel at home, because this was always yours. This was always prepared for you. And here's what I need you to understand. Once the vault is open, it cannot be shut. No enemy can slam it closed. No past mistake can lock it again. No fear, no doubt, no limitation can undo what God has already set in motion. When heaven opens a door, it stays open. And this vault, this treasure, this flow of abundance, it's open permanently. So what do you do now? You receive it, you walk into it, you declare it as yours. You let your spirit say, this isn't just a story, this isn't just a vision, this is my reality. Because faith isn't about waiting to see it in your hands before you believe it. Faith is about believing it so fully that heaven responds by making it visible. Take a breath. Let the vision sink deep. Let the light of that open vault wash over you. Let it erase the years of lack, the chains of fear, the whispers of not enough. Let it reset your identity. You are not someone left outside. You are not someone overlooked. You are the chosen heir walking into everything heaven has preserved for you. The vault is open, the abundance is flowing, and the billionaire blessing is yours. Pause for a moment. Let's go deeper than the gold, deeper than the wealth, deeper than the image of vaults and treasures. Because yes, money matters, yes, resources matter. But the billionaire blessing being released into your life right now isn't just about stacking bills or buying luxuries. It's about something far greater, something eternal. It's about legacy. Think about that word for a second. Legacy. It carries weight, doesn't it? It's more than possessions, more than status, more than comfort. Legacy is what outlives you. Legacy is what echoes through time long after your voice has grown quiet. Legacy is the imprint of your life on the lives of others. And that's the deeper truth of the billionaire blessing. It's not just about filling your hands, it's about filling your generations. Money by itself can vanish. It can be spent, wasted, lost. But legacy multiplies. Legacy spreads. Legacy transforms. Legacy is what takes the abundance pouring into your life and turns it into something that touches people you may never meet, impacts lives you may never see, and flows into generations yet unborn. That's the kind of abundance heaven is releasing to you. Look at Joseph's story again. When he stepped into the palace, the wealth of Egypt was placed in his hands. But notice, it wasn't just for him. It wasn't just to make his life comfortable. It wasn't just to prove his enemies wrong. His abundance carried assignment. His wealth carried weight. Because through Joseph's blessing, nations survived famine. Families were fed. Generations were preserved. That's legacy. That's the kind of blessing you're stepping into. And here's the truth. You've been prepared for this. You've carried lack. You've carried scarcity. You've carried cycles that didn't start with you but were passed down to you. Maybe your family lived generation after generation in survival mode, scraping by, always one step away from breaking but never quite breaking free. And maybe you thought, this is just how it is for us. This is all we'll ever know. But let me tell you something. That cycle ends with you. You are the chain breaker. You are the cycle shifter. You are the one chosen to carry legacy. The billionaire blessing in your life is generational. It's designed not only to free you, but to free everyone connected to you. It's about rewriting your family's story so that your children, your grandchildren, and those who come after never have to know the chains you carried. They'll never have to live the way you did, because you chose to believe, to rise, to receive the blessing marked with your name. Let's make this visual. Imagine your family tree. Look at its roots, scarred, tangled, weighed down by lack, fear, limitation. Now picture light shooting up from those roots, burning away the darkness, straightening what was twisted, healing what was broken. The branches of that tree begin to stretch wide, heavy with fruit, generations of fruit. And every piece of fruit carries abundance, peace, joy, purpose. That's what legacy looks like. That's what your billionaire blessing is producing. And legacy isn't only about money. It's about faith. It's about wisdom. It's about the example you set by choosing to trust God when everything looked impossible. The prayers you pray today will echo through the lives of people you'll never meet. The seeds you sow now will grow into forests others will sit under long after you're gone. Legacy means that when people look back on your story, they'll say, "That's the one who changed everything. That's the one who broke the cycle. That's the one who shifted the course of generations." Let me remind you, Esther didn't step into the palace just to enjoy luxury. She stepped in to carry a legacy moment that saved her people. Her beauty opened the door, but her courage fulfilled her calling. That's the same truth unfolding for you. The abundance pouring into your life isn't for you to admire. It's for you to apply. It's wealth with purpose. It's prosperity with impact. It's abundance designed to outlive you. And here's the beautiful part. God trusted you with this. He saw your heart. He saw your faith. He saw how, even when you had little, you were faithful. Even when you struggled, you gave. Even when you were overlooked, you prayed. That's why He's releasing not just blessing, but legacy. because He knows you won't waste it. He knows you'll multiply it. He knows you'll carry it with integrity. So, let's make it personal. Imagine your children, whether you have them now or they're still in your future. Imagine them walking in freedom because you broke the chains of lack. Imagine them living with peace because you shifted the atmosphere of your family. Imagine them rising higher because you paved the way. That's legacy. Imagine your grandchildren, generations down the line, speaking your name with gratitude because the blessing you carried didn't stop with you. It multiplied through them. That's legacy. And don't limit it to your family. Legacy stretches wider than bloodlines. It touches communities. It touches strangers. It touches nations. With the abundance being poured into your life, schools will be built. Missions will be funded. Lives will be saved. Hearts will be lifted. Your wealth will ripple outward like waves, and those waves will keep spreading long after your lifetime. That's the billionaire blessing. It's not just about wealth in your hands, it's about wealth through your hands. This is why you were chosen. This is why you endured the struggle. Because abundance without purpose can destroy a person, but abundance with legacy transforms the world. And you are being trusted with the kind of wealth, influence, and overflow that carries weight far beyond yourself. You are chosen to steward legacy. Let this truth anchor in your spirit. Your blessing is bigger than you, and that's why it feels so overwhelming, so heavy, so impossible to contain, because it was never meant to be contained. It was meant to flow. It was meant to multiply. It was meant to echo. And you are the vessel heaven chose to carry it. So don't shrink back. Don't question, why me? Don't say, I'm not enough. You are enough. You are the chosen one. You are the cycle breaker. You are the carrier of legacy. That's who you are. And that's why the billionaire blessing is flowing through you right now. Picture this as we close this section. You stand in the vault of abundance, treasures surrounding you, light pouring everywhere. And as you reach out to touch it, you realize it's not just for you, it's for your children, it's for your community, it's for generations you'll never meet. And suddenly you understand, this was never just about being rich. This was about being remembered. This was about carrying legacy. And now, with the vault wide open, that legacy begins with you. Let's get real for a moment. Because before you can fully step into this billionaire blessing, before you can truly walk in legacy and overflow, something has to break. And I don't mean something external, I mean the chains you've been carrying on the inside. Yes, chains. Invisible but heavy. Generational cycles. Limiting beliefs. Words spoken over you years ago that you still hear in the back of your mind. Doubts that whisper every time you start to believe. Fears that tighten their grip every time you dream bigger. Those are chains, and those chains have held you long enough. But listen closely, this is the moment they snap. Picture it. Iron links, rusted but stubborn, wrapped around your spirit. They've been there so long you almost forgot what freedom feels like. Some chains came from your past, parents who struggled, families that lived in lack, voices that told you money was evil or dreams were dangerous. Some chains came from failure. Times you tried, and it didn't work, so you told yourself never again. Some chains came from fear. Fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, fear of stepping out of the comfort zone. But in this very moment, heaven is striking those chains. Sparks are flying. Links are cracking. Metal is snapping apart. And for the first time, you're stepping out of them, light and free. Because the truth is this. You cannot carry a billionaire blessing with a slave mindset. You cannot walk into overflow while gripping the language of lack. You cannot step into legacy while bowing under fear. The old identity doesn't fit the new season. And that's why God is breaking the chains right now. Think of the Israelites. For 400 years they lived as slaves in Egypt. Chains weren't just on their bodies, they were on their minds. Even after God set them free, many of them still longed for Egypt, because Egypt was familiar. But God was saying, no, Egypt is behind you. Abundance is ahead. Stop living like a slave when I've called you into promise. That's the message for you today. Egypt is over. Scarcity is over. Struggle is over. The chains are broken, and the promised land of overflow is in front of you. Let's name some of those chains so they lose their power. The chain of fear. Fear says, what if you fail? What if people laugh? What if you lose everything? But faith rises up and answers, what if I succeed beyond anything I ever dreamed? What if I step into a blessing so big it transforms generations? What if I was created for exactly this moment? Fear cannot hold you when faith is alive in you. The chain of doubt. Doubt whispers, maybe this is too good to be true. Maybe I don't deserve it. But truth declares, you were chosen before you were born. Your name was carved into this blessing long before you took your first breath. You don't earn it. You inherit it. You don't deserve it. You're designed for it. Doubt dissolves when you understand identity. The chain of unworthiness. That voice inside that says, why me? I'm not special. I'm not qualified. But God answers, because I said so. Because I chose you. Because I saw what no one else saw. Because I trust you with this blessing. Worthiness isn't about your past. It's about your calling. And your calling is undeniable. And then there's the generational chain. Maybe your family never had enough. Maybe you grew up hearing, we can't afford this. Or people like us don't succeed. Those words carved deep grooves in your mind. But guess what? The cycle stops here. You are the chain breaker. You are the one who flips the script. The blessing flowing into your life is rewriting your family's story so generations after you will live free from the chains you carried. Do you feel that stirring in your chest right now? That's freedom rising. That's your spirit recognizing, this is my breaking point. This is my release. You are not bound anymore. You are not limited anymore. The chains are falling, the cycles are ending, and a new chapter is beginning. And understand this, chains don't break quietly. They break with a sound. So imagine it, the loud, echoing crash of metal hitting the floor. The finality of it, the authority of it. That's happening right now in the spirit. Every voice that said you couldn't rise is silenced. Every lie that said you weren't enough is shattered. Every weight that tried to hold you back is gone. But here's the key. Once the chains are broken, you have to walk free. Don't pick them back up. Don't keep rehearsing old doubts. Don't cling to fear just because it feels familiar. The prison door is open. Step out. You're not the same person you were yesterday. That identity died with the chains. You are new. You are free. You are chosen to carry abundance. Let's go deeper with this image. Picture yourself standing in a dimly lit cell, chains heavy on your wrists and ankles. Suddenly, a blinding light fills the room. The chains crack and fall to the floor. The cell door swings open. You take a step forward, then another. You walk into the light, and as you do, you realize the chains weren't just broken off of you. They were broken off of everyone connected to you. Your children, your grandchildren, your descendants, they're free because you're free. That's the power of breaking cycles. And don't be surprised if the enemy tries to trick you into picking those chains back up. He'll whisper lies. He'll remind you of your past. He'll try to convince you nothing has changed. But lies only work if you believe them. And now, you know the truth. The truth is freedom. The truth is abundance. The truth is billionaire blessing. And once God breaks chains, they cannot be reforged. So, from this moment on, start speaking differently. Replace I can't afford it with heaven's vault is open for me. Replace I'm not worthy with I am chosen, I am called, I am trusted. Replace I'll always struggle with I walk in overflow, I live in abundance, I carry legacy. Your words shape your world, and your new world requires a new language. And here's the most powerful part. Breaking chains isn't just for you. Every step you take in freedom creates a path for others. When you rise, people who watched you struggle will realize they can rise too. When you break cycles, people in your family will see what's possible. When you walk in overflow, entire communities will shift. Your freedom creates freedom. Your abundance creates abundance. Your blessing multiplies. So let's declare it right now. The chains are broken. The cycles are ended. I walk free. I live abundant. I carry legacy. I receive my billionaire blessing. Say it until your spirit believes it. Say it until the atmosphere around you changes. Say it until heaven echoes it back to you. Because this is the moment everything shifts. The chains are gone. The vault is open. And you are stepping into freedom, abundance, and legacy like never before. Word count, 1,251. Pause. Feel the shift, because everything you've heard so far, the vault opening, the chains breaking, the legacy unfolding, the stewardship entrusted to you, it's all building toward one deeper truth. This blessing isn't just about what you have, it's about who you are becoming. The billionaire blessing is not simply an upgrade in circumstances, it's a transformation of identity. You are not the same person you were yesterday. You're not the same person who struggled under chains, who doubted your worth, who barely scraped by. That version of you is gone, dead, buried. And in its place, a new identity is rising. Chosen vessel, carrier of abundance, steward of legacy. Think of Isaiah 43:19. See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? That's what's happening inside you right now. God isn't just changing what's around you. He's reshaping what's within you. He's rewriting how you see yourself, how you think, how you walk, how you live. The blessing isn't just external wealth, it's internal rebirth. Let's make this visual. Imagine a butterfly. For most of its existence, it crawls on the ground as a caterpillar, small, overlooked, limited. Then comes the cocoon. Dark, tight, uncomfortable. At first glance, it looks like death, but it's not death, it's transformation. Inside that cocoon, everything is being reshaped, redefined. And when it finally breaks free, the creature that emerges looks nothing like the one that entered. That's you. The struggles were your cocoon. The delays were your cocoon. The chains were your cocoon. And now you are breaking free, transformed, unrecognizable, soaring higher than you ever imagined. Transformation isn't about pretending you never struggled. It's about realizing the struggle was the very thing that birthed the new you. You're not the victim anymore, you're the victor. You're not the overlooked one, you're the chosen one. You're not small, you're limitless. This is an identity shift so radical that even people who knew you before won't recognize you now. Think of Moses. Before the burning bush, he was a fugitive shepherd, uncertain, insecure, burdened by his past. But one encounter with God shifted everything. He walked away from that bush transformed. Not just a man with sheep, but a leader of nations. His identity shifted from ordinary to extraordinary. That's your burning bush moment. These words, this blessing, this shift, it's transforming you into someone unrecognizable compared to the old you. And let's be honest, the enemy will fight you here the hardest. Because if he can keep you believing you're still the old you, still small, still chained, still unworthy, then you'll never step fully into your billionaire blessing. That's why the lies of "you're not good enough" or "you're not really changed" keep echoing. But listen to me. Those lies have no authority anymore. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, "If anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here." That's you. The old is gone, the new is here. This transformation is not surface level. It's not just about dressing different, talking different, or acting different. It's about being different. It's about walking with a confidence that doesn't come from ego, but from knowing heaven's vault has your name carved on it. It's about carrying yourself with peace that doesn't come from circumstances, but from knowing the chains are broken forever. It's about making decisions not out of fear, but out of faith, because you know abundance flows to and through you. Picture your new self. You wake up in the morning, not weighed down by panic, but lifted by peace. You look in the mirror and see strength, not shame. You walk into rooms with your head high, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you know who you are. Chosen, appointed, trusted. Your very presence shifts atmospheres. People feel something different around you, not just wealth, but purpose. Not just success, but light. That's what it means to be transformed. And here's the key: transformation is ongoing. It's not a one-time event, it's a process. Every day you align more with your true identity. Every day you shed more of the old. Every day you step deeper into the new. Transformation is a journey, but the turning point is right here, right now. Think of Paul, once a persecutor, feared and hated, then, after one encounter, transformed into the greatest apostle of his generation. People who knew the old him couldn't even believe the new him. That's the same testimony you're stepping into. People who saw you struggle, who dismissed you, who counted you out, they won't recognize the new you. And when they ask, "What happened?" you'll point to heaven. Your transformation will become evidence of God's reality. And don't underestimate the power of gratitude in this process. Gratitude locks in transformation. Gratitude says, "This blessing isn't about me, it's about Him." Gratitude turns wealth into worship, abundance into testimony. Every time you stop to thank God for where you are, you anchor yourself in humility and keep your heart aligned with the source. Gratitude keeps the new you rooted in truth. So let me remind you, you are not the old you. You are not your failures. You are not your past. You are not your fears. You are not your doubts. You are transformed. You are chosen. You are the vessel heaven trusts to carry abundance. And when you walk in that identity, nothing, no enemy, no obstacle, no voice of limitation can stop the flow of your billionaire blessing. Visualize this as we close this section. You're standing at the threshold of the vault. Behind you lie the chains that once held you. In front of you, rivers of gold, scrolls of destiny, treasures of peace and purpose. You take a step forward, and with each step, your identity shifts further. One step, fear gone; another step, doubt gone; another step, shame gone. Until finally, you're not stepping as the old you anymore. You're walking as the transformed you. Head high, shoulders strong, spirit alive. A vessel of abundance, unstoppable and undeniable. This is who you are now, and this is who the world will see. This is it. The moment everything has been building toward, the vault is open. The chains are broken. Legacy is unfolding. Stewardship has been entrusted. Your identity has been transformed. And now, the final step remains: walking boldly into overflow. Not crawling, not tiptoeing, not hesitating, walking boldly, with confidence, with certainty, with the unshakable awareness that heaven's vault is open, your name is written on it, and nothing can stop what's flowing into your life. Because overflow isn't timid. Overflow doesn't apologize. Overflow doesn't shrink. Overflow pours, floods, saturates, and that's what's being released over you now. You are not stepping into just enough. You are stepping into more than enough. You are not stepping into survival. You are stepping into abundance. You are not stepping into a trickle. You are stepping into rivers. Picture it. Rivers of wealth pouring through your life. Debts erased. Bank accounts overflowing. Opportunities chasing you down. Rivers of peace flooding your mind. Anxiety silenced. Nights of rest restored. Rivers of joy bubbling in your spirit. Laughter returning. Hope alive again. Rivers of purpose igniting your soul. Clarity rising. Destiny unlocked. Influence expanding. This isn't a drop. This isn't a drizzle. This is overflow. And overflow isn't random. It's intentional. It's divine. It's the natural result of a vault that cannot be contained, of blessings that cannot be measured, of promises that cannot be broken. Overflow means your cup isn't just filled. It's spilling onto everyone around you. Your blessing doesn't stop with you. It multiplies through you. Think of Psalm 23:5. My cup overflows. Not my cup has enough. Not my cup is almost full. It overflows. That's the language of heaven. That's the language of this season. Abundance that spills, blessings that ripple, favor that flows into every corner of your life. But walking boldly into overflow requires one thing: faith. Faith that refuses to be small. Faith that doesn't apologize for believing big. Faith that says, if heaven carved my name into this blessing, I'm going to walk in it like I belong, because you do belong. This overflow was designed for you. Let's talk about the mindset shift that must happen here. Scarcity says, what if it runs out? Abundance says, it will never run out. Scarcity says, I should hold back. Abundance says, I can pour out freely because heaven always replenishes. Scarcity says, I'm not worthy of this much. Abundance says, I was chosen for this much. And the more you embrace the mindset of overflow, the more you see it manifest in every part of your life. Now, imagine this. You're standing inside that vault of abundance. Light is everywhere. Gold spills onto the floor. Jewels shine. Scrolls of destiny unravel at your feet. And suddenly you hear a voice, not from outside, but from within your spirit. It says, this was always yours. Walk boldly. Take your place. Step into your inheritance. That's the invitation. Not to wonder if it's real. Not to doubt if you're worthy, but to step boldly into overflow. Think of Joshua and the Israelites. After 40 years in the wilderness, God told them it was time to step into the promised land. But here's the key. He didn't tell them to sneak in quietly. He told them to march boldly, to lift their voices, to shout as the walls of Jericho fell. Because when heaven gives you territory, you don't creep in, you claim it. That's the same instruction for you now. Don't creep into overflow. Claim it boldly. And here's why. Walking boldly shifts everything. When you walk boldly into overflow, people around you take notice. They see the light on you, the favor on you, the peace on you, and they're drawn to it. Your boldness gives others permission to rise. Your confidence awakens their confidence. Your overflow becomes contagious. But let me remind you, boldness is not arrogance. Boldness is not pride. Boldness is not about showing off. Boldness is about alignment. Boldness is about knowing who you are and whose you are. Boldness is about standing tall in the truth that heaven's vault is open. Your name is carved on it, and this is your appointed time. So what does walking boldly into overflow look like in your daily life? It looks like making decisions from abundance, not fear. It looks like saying yes to opportunities you used to think were out of reach. It looks like speaking words of life and prosperity, not rehearsing old scripts of lack. It looks like giving generously, knowing you can't outgive heaven. It looks like showing up in every room as someone who knows they're chosen, someone who knows they carry legacy, someone who knows they are trusted with a divine blessing. Walking boldly means you don't apologize for your blessing. You don't downplay it to make others comfortable. You don't hide it out of fear of jealousy. You shine, you rise, you overflow. Because when you shine, others see what's possible. When you rise, others are lifted with you. When you overflow, the world is changed through you. And hear this, overflow is not temporary. It's not a one-time moment. It's not a short burst that fades away. Overflow is a lifestyle. Overflow is your new identity. Overflow is your inheritance. Once heaven's vault opens, it stays open. Once the blessing begins, it multiplies. Once you step into overflow, you don't step out. You keep rising, keep flowing, keep multiplying. So, let me ask you, are you ready to walk boldly? Not tomorrow, not someday, but now, right now, because the door is open, the blessing is flowing. And all that's left is for you to step forward with faith, with confidence, with boldness. Picture it one last time. You're standing at the edge of the vault. Behind you, the old life of chains and struggle. In front of you, rivers of abundance. You take a step, then another. With each step you feel lighter, stronger, freer, until suddenly you're not just walking, you're running. Running into overflow, running into legacy, running into destiny. And as you run, the flood of blessing chases you, surrounds you, overtakes you. until everywhere you go, abundance is undeniable. This is your new reality. This is your new identity. You are not waiting for overflow. You are living in it. You are not begging for blessing. You are carrying it. You are not small, not forgotten, not overlooked. You are chosen, trusted, transformed, overflowing. So declare it now. I walk boldly into overflow. I am chosen. I am trusted. I am transformed. I am overflowing with abundance. Heaven's vault is open, and my name is written on it. This is my time. This is my season. This is my billionaire blessing. Say it until your spirit shouts it. Say it until heaven echoes it back. Say it until every fear, every doubt, every limitation bows down before it. Because this is the grand finale, your unveiling, your breakthrough, your moment. The billionaire blessing isn't coming. It's here. Overflow isn't on the way. It's already flowing. Your name isn't waiting to be written. It's already carved into heaven's vault. All that's left is for you to walk boldly into it. So go, step forward, live it, shine it, multiply it. Let your life be the evidence, the testimony, the proof that heaven's promises are true. Because the vault is open, the overflow is yours, and your story will never be the same. The vault is open, the flow is unstoppable, and your name is carved into this billionaire blessing. Don't shrink back. Walk boldly into overflow. This is your season, your legacy, your breakthrough. Claim it, live it, breathe it, because from this moment forward, lack is over and abundance is your new identity.